I've told this story here a number of times, but it's been a while since I've told the whole story. So I'm going to give you the story about Uta, how I met up with her and my experience with her. Now, the time I knew her, she was a waitress at a restaurant over in Scottsdale. This restaurant catered mainly to European cuisine. Now, Uta was fluent in English, French, and German, so she could pretty much interact with your customers, as a waitress. A lot of places, that would like to go into a place and order wine in French or German wine or beer or whatever. They did have that. We said it catered mainly to European cuisine, but anyway, I'm not 100% sure exactly where I met Uta. Now I'm thinking that I was singing my pickup, because I do this practically. I'll sit in there, sit my pickup, and listen to Schlager music, and she come over to me and started talking to me in German, and of course that lasted about 30 seconds. I had to tell her that my German was kind of limited, and anyway we kind of got together. Now we was together for a period of time, and then she left me for this French guy, and then now she never. I didn't have anything to do with her after that, but some people that we knew in common had told me that she left this French guy from a guy in Malaysia, and they took off to Malaysia, Indonesia. I get the two confused, somewhere over there. But I'm thinking she was looking for a country that didn't have extradition with Germany. Now, a couple of years ago, a couple of Polizei officers said no, they couldn't find her. They was trying to find her, and I think they figured that she was beyond their extradition. So they, of course, I'm easy to find. Let's say I spent an interesting and not so enjoyable afternoon being interrogated by two Polizei officers that have their English is limited and my Hochdeutsch is limited. So, like I said, again, it was kind of an interesting, not so fun experience. But anyway, at a certain point, I started demanding my rights as an American citizen. I said, either charge me with the crime in Europe. I said, I've never been to Europe. Charge me with the crime, or you got to release me. And at a certain point, they said, "Danke, auf Wiedersehen." But apparently, Uta had, according to them, from the limited amount of information I could get from them, Uta had been part either scientist or some type of chemist for some type of research lab in Leipzig, and she'd also been their accountant or bookkeeper or something. And she, according to them, now this. She never told me any of this. She was kind of vague on exactly where she'd come from, exactly what her background was. She just said she was from Germany, but she didn't go beyond that. Big Uta, where else is that's a German Frau name. But anyway, she had according to them, she had embezzled funds and set up different bank accounts. There's one in Belize. There's one in Zurich or Bern. I'm trying to think. One in Belgium. I'm trying to think the cities in Belgium. But anyway, they were thinking I was a co-conspirator. I was part of it, and I tried to tell them, no, I know nothing about this. But anyway, that's Uta's story. Now, I'm probably better off not hearing anything from her because she's one of those chicks that, she's smart. She's brilliant, but she applies her intelligence in kind of the wrong ways. Now, I'm thinking, if I understood these guys correctly, I'm thinking that they set up a time deadline. There may have been a statute of limitations, but I don't know that much about European law. I don't know if they, here in the U.S., if it's like over 5 years or 7 years, the charges are dropped on most stuff. Now it's been longer than that. So I'm thinking that she's scot free, but I may be wrong because she may know and I don't. But anyway, I'm thinking they're probably better off not to hear from her. But I think I've told her story a few times. And Uta. Let's see what I tell her. Nie wieder, Uta. Just keep me a goot on a dish. Danke, auf Wiedersehen. Bye-bye.